clothes or take out the garbage and like you're just sitting on your phone, and then your parents like ask you later if you did it and you're like, no, you never asked me to, but they really did. You were just kind of tuned in on your phone.
My sister was like that.
Yeah, I used to, honestly, I can say that I used to do that when I was younger. I was too focused on Flappy Bird, that was the thing back then.
Flappy, it's fun.
Yeah.
Same as kind of what she said. Like right when my little brother gets home from school, he just hops on the Fortnite and the PS4. I tell him to get off of it, but he says no. So like sometimes I have to like unplug the PS4 and hide it in my room.
Does he get mad?
Yeah.
See, that proves the attachment you can get to something that's a materialistic thing. It's not like a dog or a cat or a fish. You're getting attached to just something that can be not connected to you by unplugging it from a wall, you know?
And then usually like when he dies, he just like starts throwing things.
And screaming.
Yes.
Me and my brother are always like stuck on our electronics most of the time. So then like after a while, like most of the time this happens on the weekends, we like sit for hours and just play together, like on our electronics. And then our mom finally takes it away, and then we finally like play together in our room.
See, that's actually a good thing that your mom does that, because you really need to get that social experience. Yes?
Whenever I come home from school, I always go on my phone, but my mom hides my phone so he gets close to make me find it.
Does that ever make you mad?
Yes.
See,
She
that's
makes me find it so I can play on it.
that's proof that you can actually get attached to your phone, where you just want to go on it, but really you could be getting the same amount of happiness from real life experiences. Yes?
Now that I think about it, isn't like video games and stuff like basically sophisticated, the sophisticated saying of, oh, I would rather watch paint dry on a wall. Basically, it's sort of like that, I guess. Where like, basically, you're like, oh, I'd rather do this, like watch a colorful box with like colors and stuff that shows sports that I can do in reality.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could,
rather than-
instead of playing like soccer on your video game, you could go outside and kick the ball against the wall, or if you have a friend, you could be playing in real life instead of like putting yourself in like a little simulation and doing it via a controller, you know? Last thing?
My mom lets me take my phone to school, so like the only time I get to play is like usually on the bus. And that's like the only time of the day I get to play it.
Well, that's a good thing actually, because you're giving room for real life experiences and not just getting glued to your phone. And then some other things, like what you said before, it improves your academic performance because you're not so attentive to your phone. You're actually like paying attention to your writing and your math and your reading and stuff like that. And it can help prevent headaches because even staring at your computer screen for too long for school, you can get a headache from that. So you can imagine it's the same for playing video games or on your phone or tablet. And then it can improve your sleep by putting your phone down or your TV, turning it off, like what you said before. And it can also increase your focus because you're not as like tuned into your phone.
Alright, so there is some health issues that come with using too much technology too. So you can actually create a vision problem for yourself because your screens, your eyes, you know, through your screens, when you're looking at your screens too much, it's actually proven that your vision becomes more blurry when you are glued to your screens. So that causes a problem. And also hearing, especially if you're playing like those loud video games.
With the headsets.
Yeah, with the headsets, and it's just blasting in your ears.
Or earbuds with music.
That also can create an issue. And does anyone's neck ever get tired when they're just,
See?
That's why you should take a break and stretch it out.
Exactly. Or just put that phone down.
And then you're also sitting too much. And then, like we said before, potential obesity because you're just glued to your screens and eating.
You're like a couch potato.
Okay.
Yes.
And then social issues that may occur, like we said before, you might get worse at interacting face to face because you're so used to like Snapchatting or direct messaging, or iMessaging or stuff like that you don't really find the importance of coming up to someone and being like, hey, how's your day going? I really like your shirt or something like that because you're so used to just texting like an emoji or a GIF or something like that. And then you get a sense of isolation since you're just like alone with yourself playing your video game or playing a game. you don't really get that interaction like we're saying before, so you kind of feel alone. Even if you're talking to like 5 people on your phone, you're still physically by yourself. And then Winter said before, depression is a social issue, and then you get a short attention span. Like we were talking before, your parents could be trying to talk to you and you're just like, yeah, and then you go back on your phone because like your attention span is so cut down because you just want to get back to what you're doing that was so important on your technology.
Okay, and then the mental health effects of social media are self-confidence, especially if you're on like Instagram or Snapchat. Like you post things and like that can bring down your self-confidence if people, quote unquote, you think. You compare yourselves to those people because they look different than you, or they have more things than you, or they have more shows than you do in your eyes. But that's also a factor that becomes very big when you do get a lot older. And mood swings, definitely. Does anyone get mood swings on their social media? Mood swings?
Like you go from happy
Yeah.
to like straight
Oh.
Like
sad.
you can be
for no
so
reason.
happy from getting a high score and then you go onto Snapchat and see something that makes you maybe jealous or something and then you're like, oh man, I wish I was there. I wish I had that ice cream.
My eyes were just on the floor.
And then fast-paced thinking. Also, that could be a good thing for some aspects, but when your brain is running as fast as your screen is, and your screen can go pretty fast and you can do a lot of things on your screen, you're making your brain have to think a lot faster than it should. And then comparative thoughts, like we just talked about, this also goes into the self-confidence thing. And then the desire to have more and more screen time. It's like, if you get 1 cookie, you're gonna want 2, you know? If you get 1 hour of screen time, you're gonna want another hour of screen time. It's never gonna feel like it's enough for you.
It's like a void that's hard to fill.
Yeah.
So does anyone else have any stories or something
Questions?
that you might take away from the presentation or anything like that?
Can I share a fun
So,
story?
After.
I actually only get like normally my longest stretch of like when I have screen time like on an Xbox or an iPad or something, like it's my mom only lets me have the longest stretch of like only half an hour and then I'm done.
Maybe you
That's
should
good.
go,
Yeah.
maybe after hearing this and all the issues that it can cause, you could go home and be like, hey, thank you. You know?
They're trying to help you too.
Because at the time you may be like, well, that's not fair. Jimmy gets to go on his phone for 5 hours or 5 years. Yeah, that's an exaggeration, but
Infinite.
still, yeah, or infinite phone usage and you only get 30 minutes, but you might be taking away some things that he doesn't get to take away.
I'm smarter than you.
Or, I mean, in a way, I guess.
No, like, I know it seems like it might cause depression as you put in your phone, but once having something funny happen, I was playing with people. Like this is like was in a VIP sofa once and a one chat thing, and by the people giving me cookies.